And then
Hey,
hey,
we're back.
I was going to burst into tears for a second, but now I see you. So this is
Okay,
better.
here I am,
Get
James.
sticky on this end. See that? Well, okay.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
been
okay.
it's been like an hour and a half since I saw you, and I
Oh,
know.
but there goes the whole illusion to our fans. Like, there's tens and tens and tens of people watching this.
Yeah, and thank you all for tuning in today.
Yeah.
Please like and subscribe, and
Yes.
you're gonna get all kinds of amazing content sent directly to you when you subscribe.
Yeah. It's pretty much safe to assume it's life changing. Our show is life
Yeah.
changing in so many ways that there's too many ways to even waste time right now talking about the ways.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
body donation.
Yeah. What a
We
month.
wanted to talk about that a little bit. It might be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
do you
Sure.
want to dive right in, or tell me how your day was?
Day was good. Day was good.
No.
As you know, we've jumped right into summer, so it's like hot. For those of us that like, I want to do this. I'm doing this button right now. It's just yeah.
Yeah.
As a funeral person,
Don't do any further down, please.
okay, we're just stop right there.
Yeah. No. Wow.
It's not a fans only thing. It's just a regular show. No, we tend to be overdressed. I find
Hmm.
and so when it's hot, it's like yikes. Have you ever
Oh,
been to a graveside, general public, and you're overdressed and you still got to make it look like, no, ma'am, I'm fine. Meanwhile,
yeah.
your back is trickling down with your own juices. But
Oh, yeah.
that's what we
Yeah.
do. That's what we do for our people.
Yeah. 3P. I've been in at a gravesite so many times in a 3-piece suit, and
Yeah.
just you're right, just dripping wet. But
Well, as you've been learning, and as you already had a sense that our culture is greatly relaxing some of those expectations now. So,
yeah.
at least when you're in a suit nowadays, at least it's just a two piece.
Yeah, and
The suit,
people
not your
appreciate
bathing suit, like your.
it, and I kind of we read the situation too at our
Yeah,
company. We
sure.
in some formal situations, we know people are going to come in generally formal attire because it's the funeral mass or funeral service for their loved one, and we're going to be in a suit and tie as well.
Sure.
And but then there's other times where it's like, yeah, dad didn't own a suit; he just was in his Crocs and underwear all the time, and we might get a little bit more dressed up than Crocs and undies, but
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, we don't have to dress all
Yeah.
fancy pants.
Well, as you know, I usually wear my good Crocs to the funeral, so
Right,
it's
right.
going to show off a little bit. But yeah,
Nice.
you're
So you went to hospice today.
yeah, it was really heavy. We as you know, we when we're meeting with people that are pre-planning, we always
Hmm.
offer, we say, is it easier for us to come to you or do you want to come to the office?
Right.
Sometimes it's like, no, can you please come to me because I'm in end stages of life and I'm actually
Mm,
in a hospice and I've met
right.
many people there. And it's funny. I was saying to the lady as I left the hospice, she's an old friend. She's a volunteer reception person. I stopped and I said, a couple decades in, it doesn't get any easier when
Hmm.
you genuinely sit and listen to a dying person and look into their eyes and you hear their voice and then they drift off and then they come back in. And it is so intense. It's
Wow.
intense and such an honor to be allowed in their presence, really, because like we have these timetables like I got to go barbecue for some people and you got karate and this and that, but when you're dying your schedule is very different. And so I
Wow.
always think like, your time person in the bed is way more important than my time because they have so little of it. But yeah, went to the hospice, met a family.
That's super interesting to think about that. Yeah, what does their schedule look like in hospice? Like
Yeah,
whatever they want it to look like?
pretty much. Yeah, I think we're not shy to encourage people like now if this is your last chance to have those conversations, you better have them.
That's so
Let someone
true.
off the hook or whatever. Just clear the slate because when you're going to leave this planet, uh,
Hmm.
there's no redos with that kind of stuff. So have
Yeah.
the, we were talking about this last couple of days. We had a service recently where someone played a recording of the
Mm,
grandmother. She had died, but there was a recording of her telling a bit of her story, and it
right.
was a showstopper. And so I
Wow.
mentioned this to this family, saying, "Hey," and I held up my phone and said, "You probably all have one of these in your pockets." And all
Right.
these great discussions you're having. Maybe you person that's dying, you want to leave a message, and people could hear that at your and they thought, wow, cool. I said,
Mm.
I didn't make it up. But
Did you mention that to the hospice person today
yeah,
too, or no?
yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
said. I held up my phone. I said, we all have one of these, right?
Wow.
I
Wow.
said, this is a
That's
multimedia device, and some of us even make phone calls on it. But
yeah.
uh,
Wow. That's super cool.
yeah,
Now, do you think they're going to take that advice?
I don't know. They were yeah, they were kind of a little bit freaked out that I was, and I was like,
They're probably going to think about it, right? They're going
I
to
hope
go,
so. Yeah, they were. They said, yeah, I never thought of that before. I said, well, wow, if you haven't,
yeah,
imagine how I feel. I feel like I'm supposed to be an expert, and really just thinking about this now. These easily recorded on the phones that we all have.
yeah.
Wow, a great memorial device is a phone now.
That's awesome.
Can
Yeah,
be.
that's something that I think is definitely worth sharing to other people. Like, get your phone,
Yeah.
record something for your loved ones. You don't have to be in hospice either. You
Oh
don't
yeah.
have to be
Yeah,
on your
totally. Totally.
deathbed.
And
Like
really, really,
that grandma that you saw at the cemetery. It was like part of a documentary that her grandson had been doing, and they just happened to be able to use it for
yeah.
her service. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
totally. Yeah, she would have probably had no idea at the time, back to the
Yeah,
graveside people, that what she was recording would be played literally at her graveside. She might have maybe
maybe
had a different phone then.
the grandson might have been kind of thinking about it, maybe, but
Well, I don't know, but yeah, these are I love these ideas. We kind of stumble on them, and pretty much every time, if you notice, I'm sure you do, the greatest ideas they come from the actual families that we serve.
yeah,
Someone says, "What about this and that?" And we add in a bit of our like, "What about this and that?" And next thing you know, wow, yeah, um,
yeah.
whatever it's like, style of music or style of dress or recordings and whatnot. But yeah, it's like yeah, the people themselves have the ideas, even when they say, we don't know what to do. Next thing you
You
know,
know,
they right with it.
one idea I hear regularly is, "Hey, you guys need to have a wet bar here."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. At the office.
Yeah, yeah. They're like they come in for arrangements at 9 a.m. They're like, "Where's the vodka?"
Yeah,
And it's like, "Okay, well, now it might not be the best time. We got to get you through this paperwork and think through with a clear head,
yeah.
not too fogged up with the spirits."
Then we take come back after 11, in a.m. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's yeah. I probably it's not a hard thing to do. Like you can get a place licensed, but then yeah, like special occasions permits like $50, but
yeah. But even still, like I don't know. I think just be there, focus on what you're there for,
yeah, totally.
and after go home and kick your Crocs off and have a drink if you need to or something.
Pull on your pajama pants. Well, I remember when Arbor started having
Mhm.
facilities licensed, and the thinking being like, yeah, during arrangements, Mr. and Mrs. So and so, would you like a glass of wine while we're talking here? And
Yeah, and then what do you think the BAO would say was like, wait a minute, you were serving them alcohol while you were having them sign contracts, and you're not supposed to be under the influence while you sign a contract.
well, you can't be drunk.
Okay, yeah,
You
true,
can't, you
true.
can't be drunk. But someone that drinks wine every single day, that never gets drunk, they'd say, "I'm not drunk. I have wine. It's good for me." But I
That's,
and then Arbor is smart. They're going to say, "Hey, the funeral director is Smart Serve certified, so he's
yep.
not going to load them up anyway." We don't need to
It's true.
we don't
It
need
is
to
true.
advertise for another company by saying their name three times. No way.
That's
But
you know what? Both of us work there, and
yeah,
there's a reason we're here.
yeah, big time. Yeah,
Yep.
big time. So you
So
said you arrived back home into the bustling metropolis of Kingsville, and you said the traffic. What's
yeah,
going on in that town?
man. You know what? They released the kids from the schools, and there was cross guards everywhere, stopping traffic, and soccer moms and stay-at-home dads,
Oh
and they were
wow!
just crowding the streets. I saw something really sweet though. At the opposite end of the spectrum, there was this elderly lady in a walker, and her husband was trying to stop traffic as he was escorting her across the road.
Oh,
And
nice.
I was like, "Move out of the way, man!"
Right.
No, no, I was like, "Oh, that's awesome. Good
Yeah,
for them."
I love seeing that too.
Yeah,
Maybe who knows? Maybe they're just neighbors. Maybe they're buddies or something. But
maybe they had a husband and wife kind of feel connection to
okay,
them.
okay.
Yeah.
Husbands and wives can sort of pick up those vibes, like, oh yeah, they're in the club. Yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you think like, yeah, but 'cause that's what you sign up for, right? And so
Yeah.
when you're old and feeble, like
Yeah.
whoever's less feeble helps the other feeble one, and yeah,
And you know what though? Us men need to be gentlemen, and we
good,
need to have chivalrous attitudes,
good
and
word.
we need to look out for our wives, and we need to protect them, and we need to do all those good things that we're called to do. Provide, you know.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta, yeah. Someone breaks in your house, you shoot them right in the face.
Well, if this podcast goes out to the United States of America, they could definitely
Right.
do that. In Canada, here, what are you going to shoot them in the face with?
Yeah. Uh, yeah, that's right. Back to the booze. I guess open up a champagne bottle. You know,
Pop.
hey, welcome to my house. Yeah. Yeah. That's
So,
right.
yeah, I'm going to do a little
Yeah.
detour
Do
here.
it. Do it.
I'm super. I wanted to touch on body donation. Is that what I think that's what I had mentioned, right? Let's
Yeah.
talk about a little
Yeah.
bit body donation
For sure. Yeah.
because we've had it happen a few times within the last couple months,
Yeah.
and I don't know if people really know what is the stipulations, what happens to your body, what happens with cremation, when do you get the cremated remains, lots of different questions probably that people might have.
Big time. Usually because people just don't know. Like you said, what I always think of, and I've learned over the years, especially with life transitions, because as somehow we've positioned ourselves in an alternative kind of space, and it tends to be people that are aware or open to alternative ideas
Yep.
that even sort of pursue or look into body donation. But
Mhm.
people will say, you know what, I want to donate some of my organs, and then my eyes for sure, and then just my whole body. And then people have the three streams of anatomical donation all mixed together, and
Okay.
they're mutually exclusive. If you're going to donate
Right.
your live organs, very rare and sad, because that means you're brain dead on a respirator.
Right.
You harvest the organs. That's specific, rare, and sad. And then after that, you're already dead. So then they can do it. You can do a tissue donation, eyes, skin, and long bones, completely isolated. But any one of those would disqualify you for full body, because full body donation is a fully intact body with no breaks in the system, no recent surgeries.
Right.
Then you're eligible. So it's they're mutually exclusive.
Right. So
Yeah,
this is really fascinating. I'm sure you've seen long bone donation
yeah.
bodies.
Well, just
Talk
after,
about
as the cleanup crew, yeah, I'd see it after.
wow, yeah, but it is you've never seen anything like it. People, not you, James, but people
People,
maybe
yeah.
listening who haven't seen it, you've never seen anything like it.
Like you're
It's
talking like long bones,
yeah, long bones.
femurs, and yeah,
So your long bones, probably not your ribs, just your femurs, your tibia, fibia,
yeah, arms and
ulna,
legs,
radial, and
arms
what's
and
this
legs.
bone?
The muscle bone, the bicep bone. I don't know. The gun
Yeah,
show. That's the gun show.
the gun show bones.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
Yeah, I'm just saying arms and legs for us laymen.
y- yeah, so yeah, it's really really crazy though. So I don't know how I mean, they cut you open and they take out your bones, and I
Yeah,
think they use them for bone marrow and stuff like that.
I would think so.
But
Yeah,
then they do a really quick stitch back, like really really quick, like stitches are an inch or more apart
just a
from
close
what
fit.
I've seen,
Yeah,
like just really quickly put you back together.
and then then
And
then you're like the guy outside the used car dealership.
you're
Like,
you're
whoa!
a wet spaghetti noodle, like your arm, you can roll it up like a fruit roll up, and that's what you've never seen anything like it. Like if your arm goes over top of the table and it goes down, it like a worm. It just goes boom,
Yeah,
and just right to your shoulder, and it's so strange. It's
yeah.
so strange,
It's not
but
it's not pleasant. It's not a
no,
yeah. It's not pleasant. Yeah.
it's
But
but I
most of the tissue donation that I've seen, because we said it's eyes, skin, and long bones, I've
right,
mostly just seen eyes, and they're it's the other way. It's like they're so respectful, very careful. They bandage the eyes like a Civil War soldier, and but yeah, the long bone stuff. Then you get
right.
the fruit roll up legs. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a whole new. I want a T-shirt that says that. I think. Yeah.
Fruit, you should see my fruit roll up legs. Well, you won't be able to, but
Yeah.
so in the eyes, have you ever watched them remove the eyes?
I did twice. No,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I did once because it was right here. There was a mix-up. I did the transfer to our holding room, and then a Trillium Gift of Life called and said, "Oh man, they forgot to tell you that I'm coming. I'm almost to Chatham. Can I come to your place?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure. If you're okay to do it here." And she
yeah.
showed up, very respectful. And I said, "Do you
Hmm.
mind if I watch? Like, I am an embalmer." She's like, "Oh yeah, for sure. Your fellow colleague." And very respectful, just disconnected and took both eyeballs, filled up
Yeah,
with cotton, eye caps, closed the eyes, and she was
yeah.
gone. It was amazing.
So
Very
I
respectful.
I got to when I was in Toronto, I got to watch an eye removal, eye inoculation is
Yes,
called,
that's the word.
and and I got to watch it. An instructor training a student to he just got the job to do it, and that was his first one.
Right.
And how long did yours take?
Maybe 15 minutes.
Okay, this one was 2 hours.
Wait.
And
Okay.
and if you could imagine, my supervisor was like, "Where is Daniel? He said he was just going to go to watch this thing, and he's taking forever. Like he must
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
got lost or something." But
2 hours.
yeah,
Wow. This is like one. Like we're just gonna part the eyelashes. Okay. Now
well,
what's the next
he's
time?
like, don't cut the eyelashes. Don't cut the eye. You cut the eyelashes, like because it was
Oh.
it, it was interesting, and they took some blood first, a sample of blood.
Wow.
Yeah,
Huh.
and watching it, they went into the aortic arc, which is
Okay.
on your right side, and it's
Sure.
just this big artery. But the student couldn't get it, and I was like, I just wanted to do it because I know where stuff is in there, and I'm just like, oh, I want to do it so badly, but I'm gonna
You're like, give me
just
that thing. Here you go.
yeah, just this is how you do it. And then and finally, he got a little bit of blood, and then they have these eyelid spreaders, and
Right.
then
Yeah.
and then he goes, okay, now you have to reach under the eyelid and reach for each muscle. I think there was 8 muscles that hold
Yeah.
your eyes,
All around.
and that's why your eyes can move like every direction, which
Yeah.
is amazing,
Amazing
amazing
design.
creation.
Amazing
Yeah,
design. Yeah.
yeah, and bop every single all 8 muscles, I think it was, and then that was the extraction, and then cut the nerve and do the same thing like you said. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was really cool. But then skin donation. I don't know what kind of tool they use, but if you've ever seen a Dutch cheese knife,
Yeah. I was gonna say it's a grafting or yeah,
it
grafting
looks
or
like they
skin
use
grafting.
they don't like remove all your skin,
No.
and they don't skin somebody,
Big,
but
big wide
they'll
open areas.
down the back and the thighs, and
Right.
they take off a couple layers because your skin's pretty thick.
Imagine guys like us. We got all this wide open skin up
Wow,
here. That's
wow, that would be
yeah. You'd be
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Like, how would you like a new scalp? Yeah. That's
This one does not come with hair.
But because I am watching the time, you started this whole conversation because you're talking about body donation.
Right, and we've only been talking about organ and tissue donation.
Yeah, give it a rest.
Yeah, but well, it's super cool. But I think so. But or body donation is something where I think people do it for different reasons. I think a lot of people do it because they want to help other people,
Yeah, I think
and they
so.
want to
Yeah,
say, "Study my cadaver, study my body,
yeah,
and figure out how you can help other people."
yeah,
And also, it's if the family is all good for it, then we're in Ontario, and we use a place out of London, and they're amazing to deal with,
yeah, yeah,
and the family will fill out a form ahead of time, and just signing, yes, this is I understand what it is, and yes, I agree to it, and and then so when somebody dies, then we pick up their body, and we confirm with the family, okay, yes, indeed, you are doing body donation, have them sign some paperwork, and then we bring that said person to London,
to the medical
and
school. Yeah,
yeah, to the medical school, and then we're done from there.
yeah,
That's our part,
yeah,
and
totally.
then
Well, we
yeah.
do all the usual paperwork and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you're
Mhm.
right. It's yeah, well, and it's funny because it's like a weird hybrid of it's like ancient modern kind of thing. Because like
Mhm.
ancient as far as like the early parts of science, people were like, we got to study the body somehow. and people
Oh
were like
yeah.
grave robbers and on and on. There would be bodies at
Yeah.
schools in England and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And then now we're all the way where people can literally donate their body. But the same idea that science moves a little bit further by having medical students study an actual human cadaver, and so like, that's how those things work, and capillaries and on and on and on, and
Yeah.
so without ever studying the actual human body, yeah, who knows? Maybe we'd still be dying from cuts and abrasions or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, artist like Michelangelo,
sure.
he also used dead bodies to study the tissue and the bone. And that's why some of his sculptures are like, how did he know every like
Every
all
sinew
the
and tendon.
yeah,
Yeah,
the way the muscles strains and everything is
yeah,
because he was actually studying dead bodies. And he
yeah.
some I just looked it up. It was like, yeah, he sometimes would try to receive a dead body, so he might trade something for that body so that he could study it.
Wow.
And I
Different
guess this
different
is
world, right?
similar. Yes and no, though. Like you said, this is like ancient stuff that we still do. So
Yeah,
what they do with the dead or with the body nowadays is the family says yes, please, and then the where we work or where we work with, they pay for the cremation after they're complete,
yep.
and it's anywhere from 1 to 2 or 3 years.
No, it's 18 months to 2 years max.
Okay, perfect.
It's like
So
like a school year type of thing, or a
right.
couple semesters or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So and then they do a very different type of embalming than we do, right?
yeah, big time.
Can
Yeah,
you
I've never seen it happen. I've just had it described to me by the actual embalmer, where
right,
they're instead of injecting and displacing all the blood with a mostly water, but lots of formaldehyde to preserve and keep the tissues pliable. They use a product that's mostly latex, and they're basically pushing all the blood out and replacing it with a like very very firm fixing formaldehyde and latex mixture. So
right.
they're definitely not for viewing for sure, because they're
Like so then they're a little bit plasticized.
yeah, exactly. That's
And
a perfect way to, yeah, they're plasticky looking.
yeah, and they are different. It does change the consistency and the texture. I remember when I went to school and we were able to look at a cadaver that they
Yeah,
had there, and someone had donated their body, and they had the person opened up so you could see all of their organs,
right,
and you can tell, okay, that's not the actual color of my organs,
right,
because it was a little bit different
kind of
color,
grayed out, and yeah,
grayed and kind of creamy. I don't know. It's kind of strange.
yeah.
It's been so many years, but it's it's really really interesting because it preserves so well all the organs, and then you can kind of excuse me, that's so rude. You can see everything. Well, I think it's time to mosey on home.
Got it back here. Yeah, you got your wet bar at the church there. You Lutherans, you're big on, like, Martin Luther was a
Oh,
brewmeister, was he not? He was a beer maker.
yes, he was, and I think there was a quote from him. I'm going to misquote it right now,
Uh-oh.
but he said something to the effect of, "Drink more beer because when you drink a lot of beer, you go to sleep and you're not sinning."
What? Well, there you go. Yeah, unless I guess that you can sin in your dreams. I don't know. That's kind of mean. God wouldn't do that to us.
Yeah, yeah. Some people think that way, but
Yeah, not Martin Luther. Martin Luther. Yeah, he's the first media star in the world. That's what I remember learning about him. But anyway, we're all over
okay.
this. I'm looking at the clock here, and speaking of body donation,
Can I give you the quote real quick?
yeah, you got it there.
Yeah.
Do it.
Whoever drinks beer, he is quick to sleep. Whoever sleeps long does not sin. Whoever does not sin enters heaven. Thus, let us drink beer.
That's good. Martin Luther. That's a perfect wrap up, because I have
Yeah.
to donate my body back to where it belongs, which is home in front of the
Yes.
barbecue.
All right. Well, make an awesome barbecue for your family, James.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm doing a life-saving training course
Yes.
at the church tonight. I'm going to learn some CPR and those heart things and stuff like that. Um,
Is there going to be a defibrillator there?
yeah, I think so.
Do me a favor,
Uh-oh.
because I forget what this is. There's like a power rating in it, like 3 million kajoules or something like that.
Okay.
Find out what's the kick on one of those things. Yeah, you
Okay.
don't know it right now, but say like, is it like 10 watts or how does it? There's some kind of
Right.
weird measurement because it is so powerful.
All right.
It could save your life or kill you. It's
All right.
like that. But
Well,
anyway, listen.
and I hope everybody has an amazing time of the day or night, whenever you're listening. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Right. Take care.
See ya.
See ya.